How's it going, guys? I'm your host Korban Gaming. Welcome back to a very special Adventure Quest video, and as you guys can tell from the title, today we will be talking about warring. That's right, guys. So I did a warring guide for Dragon Favor, and it's about time I did one for Adventure Quest as well. So for Adventure Quest, it's a little bit I would say slightly more simplified in terms of warring as compared to Dragon Fable. There aren't that many technicalities that you have to handle, but you know, there's still a lot of things that you want to consider if you want to war as effectively as possible. And in today's video, I'm going to teach you how exactly to do that. But before I get the video rolling, okay, I just want to give a huge shout out and thanks to the people over at the Gox Tavern and the AQ Knights of Discord. Okay, so the people there, they've given me a lot of helpful tips and advices for you guys to follow. And you know me, I'm not a hardcore warmonger, so really it's thanks to these helpful people that I'm able to put this video out for you guys. So if you guys haven't joined their Discord already, do go ahead and join the two Discords down below. The Gox Tavern is more for any type of player. It doesn't matter whether you're a warmonger or not, you can join there, and then the staff also hang out there sometimes and you can discuss stuff with them. Okay, for the other one, the Knights of Discord, it's more for warmongers, and then they have special badges and roles that they give to people who, you know, complete a certain number of war waves, or if they get top few inside of the war. So that is a Discord more catered towards the warmongers, and if you want to start your warmongering journey, you want to earn yourself some insane bragging rights, then you guys can go ahead and join that server as well. So let's start off with the basics. What is war exactly, and how often does wars come about in Adventure Quest? So wars are these things here. Okay, so the most recent war we have is the Moglowin War, I believe. Okay, Sister's Revenge. I will cover this in this week's video, so I won't be going through the finale just yet. But wars occur seasonally. Okay, every Friday the 13th, you will almost certainly get a war. We should be getting one very soon. Okay, this one is for Moglowin. For special occasions, you get wars as well. Special occasions like during Christmas or Frostvale. St. Patrick's Day, then you have Halloween or Moglowin, you get wars as well. And on top of those wars that occur seasonally, you also have random wars that will just pop out of nowhere. Like maybe say the staff is covering a storyline release, and then it just so happens that a war would fit the whole general flow of the storyline, and that's when you have a war that is not part of your seasonal war releases. So why would you want to war, and what do you get from warring? Okay, so firstly, you obviously get EXP and gold, okay, from warring by killing off the monsters. Secondly, you get some crazy bragging rights, okay, if you have done a lot of war waves. Okay, and last but not least, you get the war rewards, which is what everybody wants. So as of the time of this video, they've updated it such that each player only needs to get a maximum of 2,500 individual kills in order to get the maximum rewards. Okay, so previously it was only for the top few placings, and then it got very competitive. Some people can manage like 20-30,000 waves, that sort of thing. But you know, the staff changed it so that for everyone who has hit a certain number of kills, you will be able to get the reward. So I think that's really great. Okay, so this will be the standard going forward. I don't know if it will change in the future, but as of the time of this video, this is the standard. So for 500 individual kills, the rewards will vary for each war. Okay, usually you get a weapon, a helm, and then the final reward is usually a limited edition face. This face that I have is from a war. Okay, so the faces will be limited edition, and of the rewards, they are mostly reskins of the original rewards. Okay, so maybe some of them might have a little bit more extra special effects, some of them might have a different element, but for the most part, it's mainly just reskins, and they look really nice. So that is the main reason why you want to war. Okay, so you can see here from the top character war wins. Okay, you can see here, these are our classic warmongers, and then they have gotten a crazy amount of wins, 20,000, 16,000. Like, there's literally not a lot of reason to go over 2,500, which is what you need to get the rewards. You can see here, almost everyone stopped at 2,500 here. Going above that really doesn't serve anything other than to earn yourself bragging rights. Okay, so now that that is covered, now I'm going to go through how you want to war efficiently. So some general tips to start off. First of all, you want to switch your graphics over to low. I am recording a video, so I don't want you to be watching these grainy graphics, and also because my PC can handle it, so I'm going to turn my graphics up to high. But if you're warmongering and you want the fastest possible speed for every single thing that you do, whether it's loading or the animations or whatnot, you definitely want to turn your graphics down to low. Okay, the other settings here, you can turn off ready inventory before battle. This will be helpful because it saves you some time and it also saves you one extra click. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Okay, and another general tip that I like to give you guys is have something to do on the side. Okay, so whether you're listening to a podcast, watching a long video, or watching a live stream or whatever, just have something off to the side, or maybe you want to jam out to some nice music while you're warring. You should definitely do that because it will help you in the long run to maximize your productivity. Warring is a very tedious and arduous process. You're doing the same thing over and over again for a few hours every single day, and it can get very boring and very repetitive, which is why you want something to entertain yourself so you don't burn yourself out. Okay, now on to the parts that really matter. Okay, so first off, what build should you want to use if you're warring? Okay, the number one stat that, in my opinion, that you should definitely have for all warmongers is luck. Okay, you want to max out your luck stat 250 regardless of your build. Why is this so? Is because luck gives you a chance to go first in battle, and you definitely want to go first in battle because one, it increases your survivability, though that is not that important in warring. We'll go through that in a little bit. And two, going first means that you can kill the monster faster. It will save you time. The monster doesn't need to move. Okay, so you just kill the monster and that's it. You can move on to the next one. Okay, so there's only 2 to 3 viable builds in my opinion if you really want to be super efficient at warring, and that is number 1. Okay, this is in no particular order. Okay, number 1, you have your hybrids. Number 2, you have your pure wizards, and number 3, you have your pure warriors. Okay, for rangers and beastmasters, I would say they are not that effective for warring simply because they rely on effects, not so much on damage. And on top of that, for beastmasters, you're relying on your pets and guests to do damage, which slows down the overall flow of battle because you have to wait longer for more things to animate and move. Okay, so you ideally, if you're warring, you really want to use a pure warrior, a hybrid, or a pure wizard build. Okay, for the stats, you will also want dexterity. This will ensure that you land all of your hits, though it's not that important once you build up momentum. We'll go through that later on. Okay, if you're running warrior, obviously you want to max out your strength. If you're running wizard, then you want to max out your intellect. So these are the few builds that you can choose. For hybrids, you can choose a mixture of strength and intellect, but for hybrids, most of the time you'll either be using either your spells or your melee attacks only. You'll only be using either one, so even then hybrids are not that great for warring because you're only using one aspect. So it's better if you just dump all your stats into one main stat and fully focus on that. So pure warriors and pure wizards are really where it's at for warring. Okay, now the next tip, obviously you want to max out your SP bar before we start. Okay, why this is so is because all of your armor skills and your whatever attacks, all of that takes up SP, if not MP. But you know, ideally you want to max out your SP so you can always be using your miscellaneous items, your boosters and whatnot whenever you need to. Okay, so it's very easy. If you have Essence Orb, just go over to Combat Practice Trainer, give it a few clicks and you're done. If you don't have Essence Orb, well then you should get Essence Orb. But you know, if you don't have it for some weird reason, then yeah, just go a few rounds with Combat Practice Trainer to fill up your SP bar. Okay, next one, after you get your builds down, what armors should you be using? Okay, so for armors, if you're a mage or a wizard, then you obviously want to be using your generalist's robes. Okay, in build with law, and then the best spells you can use is the burst spells. You have your destruction burst, explosive teleport booth, arctic tornado, and creation burst. All these 4 spells, they cover 2 elements each, so I have all of them, which means I have all 8 elements covered. And you can also use blood mage armors. Blood mage armors will work great as well. I have a few blood mage armors here. Blood mage armors, you can use their built-in skill or spell as well. Okay, that will work better if you don't it gives slightly more damage as compared to your burst spells, and on top of that, it is also a more free-to-play friendly option since you can get them from golden gift boxes. Of course, those are ultra rare golden gift boxes, and it's very unlikely that you'll get an ultra rare golden gift box unless you've been saving up for a long time. But then again, there is a possibility to get it without spending a single cent. I mean, as long as you have guardianship, that is. So yeah. Now, let's see here. For warriors, you want to be using Bloodzerker armors. Okay, so any Bloodzerker, Blazing Bloodzerker, Terra Bloodzerker, and don't know whatever Bloodzerkers there are. You obviously want to turn on your imbue, and then you know you can deal double the damage. Of course, it will be locked to one element, and depending on the war that you are in, okay, certain monsters may be weaker to certain resist, so you may want to change it out depending on the element of the monsters you are fighting. Okay, regardless of that, you always want to prioritize damage over survivability. You don't care whether you die or not. Your main goal when you're warring is to kill the monster as fast as possible. Okay, you can also choose to use armors. If you don't have the Bloodzerker or the Blood Mage armors, which are all ultra rare golden gift boxes, you can use other armors as well. Let's see, for example, you can use the vampire forms. The vampire forms are very powerful armors too. Of course, this is a ultra rare golden gift box as well. They are still very viable for warring. Okay, you can use armors with strong skills like White Knight Z. Of course, this will mean that you have to replenish your SP every once in a while with Essence Orb, or you can use Rejuvenating Necklace as well. That's another good miscellaneous item to pair it with. Okay, alternatively, you can use Decimator. It's very fast. In fact, I think it's the fastest attack animation out there. The monster only has about 1000 HP. You can use Decimator, and that should kill it in basically one hit to the element that is weak to. Okay, you can also use Headless Horseman. I don't know where is my Headless Horseman. Okay, but yeah, Headless Horseman, that's another good armor. Believe it's only a rare golden gift box, so yeah, if you guys have that, you can use that as well. Okay, for free-to-play players, you just want to use any nuking armor. Okay, the best one so far, okay, is the newest Haunted Dragonlord armor for wind damage. So if you guys don't have that, free-to-play players, you should go ahead because this is the strongest nuke that you will possibly get. It does cost a bit of HP and SP, but you know, it's not a big deal. Alright. Now, for weapons, if you're a warrior, you obviously want to be using your Bloodzerker sword. You can use Blade of the Thornful Rose for water damage. Of course, this will cost more SP. Okay, but for the most part, you should be using your Bloodzerker sword. Mages, you want to boost your spell, so you want to have something like Scylla Staff. Or you can have your Arcane Cutlasses if you're just using that particular element. Okay. Now, shields. For warriors, you want Chieftain's Iron Thorn. There's no other substitute for that. And for mages, obviously you want Celtic Wheel. And again, there's no better substitute for that. Both of these shields, they are free shields, so you guys should go ahead and get these shields. Okay. For spells, I already covered that. Pets. Okay, pets and gas. Pets and gas, you if you can afford it, go for the booster pets and gas. Those are the only pets and gas you want. You don't want any damage dealing pets or gas. You don't want any healing pets or gas. You just want damage boosters. Okay, so if you don't have the money to afford the booster pets, or if you don't have the ultra rare golden gift boxes to get them, then you can go ahead and get a highly damaging pet or gas. If you somehow leave the enemy with like a sliver of health, you know, that could be useful. But in the grand scheme of things, pets and gas mostly just slow it down unless they are boosters, and ideally you want to kill the monster in one turn. So even before your pets and gas get to move, the monster should be dead already. Okay, so for free-to-play players, you can use your Essence of Carnage. You can also use the latest one, the latest pet that you get inside of this year's Mastercraft set, which is the Angra Lenom. Okay, this one has about the same effect as your Essence of Carnage, so very good damage booster, and it's an overall damage booster. If you're just boosting one particular type of damage, you can get those more pay to win pets like the Chili pet, the Ramsey pet, or you can get the Lepri Chan as well. I believe this is the free to play version for light booster. For light booster pet. Miscellaneous items. Okay, you should use Rejuvenating Necklace. That one heals you SP for the damage that you dealt. Very useful if you're using heavy armor skills. Okay, alternatively, or ideally you should also have Essence Orb as well. And last but not least, you want Blood Contract. Okay, your gauntlets, they could be useful against monsters with a bit more health, or if you take more than one turn to kill them, but you know, ideally you should be killing them in one turn, or maybe Shadow Feeder Pendant. But for the most part, monsters in wars are usually one-shottable, so they are not that useful. Power, you can use it as well, but you will need a few more extra clicks, which will slow you down. So ideally you should be using Blood Contract. If not, you can use something like let's see here, you can use Hyperelfian Dragon Fang to reduce its health. If you need to, you can also use your Earth of Osiris for warriors, or you can use Minotaur's Pride. That's another very great item for warriors. Okay, damage booster. And then for mages, you can use Warlick's Oblivion Sphere if you have that from the ultra rare golden gift boxes. Okay, so that's basically it for the setup that you want. Okay, now let's go into warring, and I'll show you guys an example of how to do it. Okay, right, so we'll skip this, and each time you battle, you will build up a bit of momentum. Okay, momentum is shown here at the bottom. Okay, now that the war is over, I'm able to show you guys the momentum. Okay, so this war, you're mainly dealing with undead monsters, and undead monsters, you obviously want something that is the light element. Unfortunately, my Bloodsucker armors, I do not have a light element, but you know, you can go for the second best, which is fire element, and that will still work fine. So for the first monster, of course, you want to take some time to set it up. Okay, so call your booster packs out. Get out the armor that you want, equip Chieftain's Iron Taunt. Items, obviously you want Blood Contract, that's the best one there is. Weapons, Legendary Blazing Bloodsucker Sword, and some, you obviously want to turn on all of your powerful skills. Some wars, okay, there will be monsters with differing elements. Okay, maybe you have one monster that is weak to this element, another monster that is defense well against that element. Okay, you should only change out your gear if you find that you cannot one-shot the monster. Okay, so as much as possible, you want to try and one-shot the monster. If you can, then you don't need to bother swapping out, because swapping out, you waste quite a lot of time, and efficiency is the name of the game when it comes to warring. Okay, another tip that I have, or actually it's given to me by the Knights of Discord, so once again shout out to them. Okay, they said that there's this strategy called goal lining. Okay, basically what you do is you flee from monsters which give a large amount of gold, because once you hit your gold cap for the day, your war wins no longer count anymore. So the maximum amount of war wins that you can do, the maximum amount of war waves that you can do in a day is basically dependent on your gold cap. So for ex-guardians, obviously you will be able to do more, because you have more you have a higher gold cap as compared to guardians. If you're an adventure, I wouldn't really bother, to be honest. And yeah, I sort of messed up here. So this is where you have to strike a balance between survivability and damage. Okay, so here I ate a lot of darkness damage. Okay, because of this, you may want to switch out to a darkness armor, but I only have decimator, which is still decent, but you know, not as great as compared to Bloodsucker. For this war, most of the monsters have around 5000 HP, which isn't that fantastic for warring, because you usually need more than one turn to kill them if you're just doing it like me. If you do all the things like Time Gauntlet, Power Gauntlet, all of that stuff, then yes, you can kill them before they act, you know. So yeah, not a very good example here, but you get a rough idea. So you build up momentum. You can build up a maximum of 100 momentum, which gives you extra 50% damage, extra 50 bonus to hit, and you take extra, you take 50% lesser damage. On top of that, the monsters get a minus 50 BTH reduction. So once you reach 100 momentum inside of the war, you're basically invincible, and you will kill any monster in almost one hit. Okay, so I'm unable to show that because the war has already ended. Okay, certain wars will also have a secret mission that basically lets you click monsters on the screen. That is slightly slower as compared to doing the regular waves. So if in Adventure Quest, I would recommend you guys to do the regular monster waves instead of the clicking mini game. Okay, now the last part about warring that I want to cover is war waves done by your house and your guards. Now these war waves do not contribute towards your individual war wins. So as you can see from the rewards, you need individual war wins in order to access the rewards. The only purpose in doing war waves with your house guards or with your otherworld armies is basically just to get some quick EXP and go. Most of you guys should be max level already, so you're mainly just doing it to get some easy go. Okay, I mean your estate resources are pretty much unused anyway once you have everything maxed out. So there isn't a war right now, so I can't showcase this, but you know, you can send out your armies or you can send out your house guards. If you have strong house guards, it's slightly better to send out house guards. If not, you're better off with the portal armies, because they have a set amount of power, and yeah, you have nothing much to worry about. I have pretty good house guards, but of course the stronger your house guards, the more resources it will cost your estate. There's a fine balance between how much you use, how much of each resource you use, and if you really want to maximize the gold gain per resource used, then you should do your own calculations. Everyone's house guards are different, so I'm not going to use mine for comparison. And that is basically it, and all the tips that I have for warring for you guys inside of Adventure Quest. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have found this video helpful. Let me know if you guys have any other tips that you'd like to share with the community down in the comments below. Let me know if I said anything wrong, or if you want to correct me, or if you want to add on to something, please go ahead. I really want to know what you guys think of this video and whether you guys enjoy my guide videos or not. And yeah, that's basically it for this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Till the next time, I'm your host, Korban Gaming. Peace out.